in there? Yeah, okay, tell somewhere. Is that me?
Hello, I'm here, but for some reason my picture's not showing up this time.
Everybody may have to turn their camera on. It may have defaulted to off for some reason. There you go.
Yeah, it did. It's up at the top of your bar up there. You'll see a little camera. It did the same thing to me.
Tell me where you think that little camera might be.
It's up at the very top of it.
Well, it depends on whether you're on your computer or your phone. If you're on your phone, it's at the top. If you're on your computer, you have to hover over the bottom and it will pop up.
It's on the bottom left. It looks like a little video camera.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah, and you just have to click the setting.
There we are. Thank you. That's it.
All right, Mayor. It looks like you are recording. You are live. It looks like you have a full house. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 council members.
Yeah.
So you are ready to go.
Okay, thank you, Andrew, and good evening, everyone.
Hello.
I'm glad that everyone could come together tonight. We do have a couple of guests on with us tonight, and we'll identify them later and hear from them during public comments. But first, if we could call our meeting to order, and if I could ask everyone to stand for a moment of silence. And then David was going to call on you to lead us in the pledge to the flag.
We'll do it.
Thank you.
Shall we pledge? I pledge allegiance
Allegiance to the
To the flag
of the
of the United States of America,
to the
to the
republic
republic
for which it
for which it
stands,
stands, one nation,
under God,
under God, indivisible,
liberty,
with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, David. That's one of the things that Zoom does not do very well for us.
Yeah, sorry about that.
No, I appreciate your effort with it. Let's see, Tracy, I'm not sure if parliamentary wise a roll call is required. You've got 8 council members obviously in attendance electronically, so why don't we do away with the roll call? Each of you should have a copy of the minutes of our last meeting of September 14th. If you'd like to look those over for any possible corrections or additions.
Mayor,
I'll make a motion that we accept them.
Okay. Motion's been made and seconded almost simultaneously. Tracy, can you help me sort that out? Whose motion?
It's Tammy and Todd second.
Okay, thank you. That's what I heard. If there are no questions about that, all in favor say aye.
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 Thanks. Are there any opposed? Then the minutes are approved. In your packet, each of you should have received a copy of our latest check register. If you could indicate if you've received that, please. Thank you. Under public comments, we have with us, I'm not sure the order, they're in your packet, Michelle Carlisle with the Amen House has a pretty intriguing event coming up. So Michelle, would you like to go first?
That would be great. So I have submitted an event request to the city. The USDA reached out to us with what they're calling a Farmers to Food Bank feeding program. They have given us the opportunity to accept a semi-tractor trailer load of food. It's all prepackaged and ready to go. It's full of meat and dairy and produce. And all we need to do is find a location to distribute that. And unfortunately, a tractor trailer inside the Amen House parking lot just doesn't work. So we're hopeful that the city will let us use this space in the parking lot, actually probably the entirety of the parking lot behind the courthouse on the morning. It's a Monday morning, October 19th, actually like 7 days from now. So we are hopeful that you have that request and that you will say yes.
Michelle, just a question for you. Obviously, something like this is really good news when you have an opportunity like this come to you, and we want to help you accommodate that. However, define for me all the parking lot, because it's really used.
Right. I would really like, honestly, some input. I know on the request, we had the opportunity to request traffic control. I don't exactly know what that entails and if there would be recommendations. We are expecting a large turnout. So part of the parking lot, in my mind, would be used to get cars off the street. If they could kind of zigzag through the parking lot, would be the only reason really that we would need a bigger space than the tractor trailer itself.
Okay.
Mayor.
Yes, sir.
Stamping Ground had this a week or so ago, and they had a very big line of traffic on both directions on 227. So I'm not sure if the city parking lot is big enough to accommodate this. This may be something to go towards, I don't know, County Park maybe.
So I hear that, and I believe that. I do think we will have a big turnout. My hope in asking for this parking lot was to keep it in a position where our clients can walk to the event. We have quite a few families right around the Amen House, and we're kind of right next door to you guys. That if we move it out of downtown, won't necessarily have an opportunity to connect with that food. I'm not saying it's still a beautiful event, no matter where we end up having it in town. The hope was to be able to keep it where our clients could walk to it if possible.
Mayor, if I could, what about the center of town parking lot? Would that be an option?
The center of town lot is actually smaller than the city parking lot. It might be for overflow or something, but it's not going to be an improvement on the city lot.
Yeah.
Michelle, our concern is that lot really is heavily utilized by, it's not just City Hall and Courthouse, but it's all of the downtown merchants. And it's frequently, almost daily at half capacity, day in, day out, is my estimation.
Yeah, I parked in it today. It was very full.
Yeah, so we want to accommodate you, but we probably need some coordination. This sounds like something that Chief Bossy and his staff, Public Works, and Andrew and I need to sit and talk with you. I'm sure the council's willing to go along with wherever we can make it work.
Mayor?
Yes, sir, Marvin.
I don't know whether Northside's got a pretty good little size parking lot by their church up there, which is just right down across the road from the City Hall's parking lot.
Mm-hmm.
And one other location would be maybe out at the football stadium at Georgetown College. Now that would be coordinating with them and getting use of that, but that is still relatively close to walking distance from downtown.
Yeah.
Mayor, if you don't mind, I just pulled up the court docket because I know a lot of the traffic there is related to court as well. There's no, you said it's Monday morning, Michelle?
Yes, the 19th.
There's no court until I think 1:30 that day. So that's one sector of people who won't be needing the parking lot. If you wanted to take that into consideration too, just as a factor.
We
Yeah.
could block it off early in the morning or the night before the section that she wants to use.
Yeah, the fact that it's not court day is a big help because there are so many jurors and so many participants in court day. Michelle, what if we ask for council's tentative approval, subject to us working out a bunch of details about the sensitivity of parking in the rear lot, and then we work with you as close as we can to see if we can accommodate both our normal users of the lot and your event.
I think that sounds great. I think that sounds like a yes.
I'll say I make a motion with those tentatives. I'll make a motion to those tentatives. Mayor.
Second, Mayor.
Thank you. There were a couple of seconds there, Tracy. Go.
I second, but whoever else, it doesn't matter.
That's fine, Karen. Go ahead.
Sounds like we're all in agreement.
I think so. Okay. All in favor of that, say aye, please.
Aye.
Aye.
Are there any opposed? We're so excited about the event and look forward to making sure you get in the best location that you can be.
So as far as my next step, who should I reach out to, or?
Reach out to Arlene in the morning and let's get me and you and Chief Bossy and maybe Robert Bruin together on a meeting.
Sounds like a plan. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. You can stick around, Michelle, if you like.
You guys have a beautiful night.
Yeah, okay, we will. We also have with us a representative of Georgetown Baptist Church. Heather is with us to talk about an event that they do, I think, every year, Heather.
Yes. So we usually do a trunk or treat. We have the last few years done that on the Sunday before Halloween. In the past few years, we have had a line going through most of the length of our large parking that's situated between Hamilton Street and Georgetown College, all the way down the lot and up the street, past a few houses. It's been several hundred folks who have come in from the community, also our church members and all of that. And so we know obviously that is not something we can do or want to promote this year. So we have been thinking really hard on what we could do that would encourage social distance, that would keep everybody safe. But it's just so important to our congregation that we do something that includes our immediate community and not just something for those who are members of our church. That's just been such a part of that particular event. So what we're proposing is an event instead of trunk or treat called Treat Street. Wanted to really portray that we are taking seriously some of the requests and regulations coming out of Frankfurt and from the CDC and others about Halloween and Halloween events. So we have named it Treat Street. It's going to be a drive-through event. It will basically kind of have a route mapped out and funnel participants through in their cars to just view some decorated trunks. So it's a little bit more like a night of lights if you drive through at Christmas time. We already have some volunteers who have signed up from our church to decorate their trunks. They will be assigned a specific space in our large parking lot. And then I plan to put about 2 empty spaces between each car. Everyone is going to be very strictly asked to maintain their own space, to not cross over and to visit with others who are participating. Also to wear masks and making sure to say that Halloween masks are not a proper face mask. But in that kind of route, we are going to have 2 different stations where folks can pause and receive, and kind of like a a Chick-fil-A style no-touch drive-through, some pre-packed goodie bags. And anybody who is packing those bags or passing out those bags will be asked to wear both gloves and a mask that entire time. We have signups for that so that we make sure our volunteers are, a specific number of people that we can assign a spot to. So we make sure that they are spaced out. But mostly, I guess I am here because we are asking that folks come down College Street toward Broadway, toward Georgetown Baptist Church, and turn into our lot by basically turning onto Mulberry Street, which goes between the lot and the college. And they'll enter our parking lot just off of Mulberry Street and kind of weave through, and we will have designated kind of traffic folks that will help direct them through. And then they will exit out onto South Hamilton Street through the parking lot entrance that's right there that faces the church. So we don't anticipate that we will need any shutting down of streets. In the past, we have shut down part of Hamilton Street, but I don't think we'll need that this year. Of course, there's no real way to estimate how many people would decide to attend. But we are asking that everybody who does attend stays in their cars. They can dress up that way and see all the decorations. They will be coming down College Street. Hopefully that will give traffic an opportunity to kind of join the line through a lot of different roads and not back up and onto like Main Street or Broadway or anything. I just wanted to bring that to council and get approval for that, I guess.
This event, council, is scheduled for October the 25th.
Yes, thank you.
Setting up beginning at 3 o'clock and dismantling by 7:30.
Motion, Mayor.
Thank you.
Second.
And second, made and seconded. If there are any questions for Heather, and not failing to hear any questions, Heather, all in favor say aye.
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 Are there any opposed? Thank you. That passes. Heather, good luck with your event.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Y'all have a good evening.
Okay. And Heather, you're invited to stick around too. No, she's gone.
She's gone.
She's gone. Under Mayor's comments, just a couple of comments. And then we also have a proclamation under Mayor's comments. First, wanted to let the council know that received notification from Parks and Recreation Director this morning requesting that the emergency declaration be lifted against playground opening effective this coming Wednesday. That's per the governor's guidelines with school opening. That was the event that had to happen for playgrounds to get to open. So the judge and I have talked, and we will be lifting that playground prohibition effective Wednesday. Also, while we do not have the actual package to bring to the council for approval tonight, did want to let you know that we received notice that we have been funded for our VOCA program for another year. We've been so successful. Police department has been so successful with the Victims of Crime Advocacy program, and we have been funded for another year, and really pleased with that. Also, that program, recognizing that cities are under financial stress, this particular grant period, there will not be a match for our VOCA employees. So that's just an additional benefit to the city of Georgetown in addition to having that personnel. Pleased to report that if you have not been downtown, the rear of 130 East Main Street has been demolished. That's the building that we purchased. We purchased part of the building from Roy Cornett when he bought the front of the building. We've completed our demolition and buttoned up the back of it. That'll be filled with gravel now and await springtime and changing budget conditions to see about a parking expansion back there in that space. But the demolition has been done. Two items that have to do with GMWSS, and Chase is on the call with us tonight, but he doesn't have anything specifically on the agenda. He's just available to listen to us and to answer any questions we might have. Two things that I wanted to update council and the public about is our South Sewer project has gone to bid. It is far enough along to where it is out there on the street in the bid process now. We expect to have bid opening on October the 29th. So that South Sewer Line project has come a very long way, and we're at the point of anticipating a bid opening. Secondly, wanted you all to know that on wastewater plant number 1, which is probably our biggest project that's in motion right now, Chase conducted a big meeting with his board, some city officials, all the engineers, attorneys, and folks that have been helping us with the wastewater plant number 1 expansion. Went through a detailed explanation of what all the pieces of that project look like. And Chase, I believe there was buy-in from all parties involved. So there's now a clear understanding of exactly what's going on with the project, and we're getting very close to bidding that project as well. Also wanted the council to be aware that there will be an important land swap, property swap element to the work that we're doing with GMWSS right now. For wastewater plant expansion, wastewater plant 1 expansion to occur, we've done the cost analysis, and the expansion has to occur in the same place where the current plant is located. To try and move it would have added probably $40 million to the project cost, which was not sustainable. So we know that GMWSS is going to need to use a portion of the city's property that we acquired during the Cardone transaction. Some of it was anticipated to be used for the wastewater expansion. And what we're working out with Chase, and then I'll get with the finance committee prior to bringing it to council, is a property swap that will not involve money, but it will involve the title to a series of properties. The water company will get access to the acreage that they need, that the city owns, to expand wastewater plant 1. We will end up with several assets in our name. Those are still being worked out, but obviously they're going to include the old GMWSS administration building, the old distribution building. We'll find a relatively equitable property swap arrangement, but wanted the council to know that this is a necessary part of this transaction, and we'll be bringing you more details on what those property swaps will look like. It is not intended to be an arm's length commercial type transaction. It's two government agencies that are trying to fill a public need with sewage treatment services. Anything you need to add there, Chase?
No, sir. Well put. I think, as you said, the agreement should be, we intend to bring that to council December is, I think, what we decided. Okay.
So some projects that the council's been hearing about for a very long time are coming very close to some significant action. Any questions for Chase? Okay. Chase, you can stick around if you like.
Thank you, Mayor. Will do.
Okay, thank you. And then also under Mayor's comments is a proclamation uh, of Pregnancy and Infant Loss Awareness Month. Let's see, Tracy, would you like to read said proclamation for us?
Yes, I'll do that. Proclamation, a proclamation designating October 2020 as Pregnancy and Infant Loss Awareness Month in Georgetown, Kentucky. Whereas on October the 25th, 1988, President Ronald Reagan proclaimed October as National Pregnancy and Infant Loss Awareness Month. And whereas ministries, churches, and other nonprofit organizations support and comfort grieving parents who have experienced death of a child during pregnancy or through early childhood. And whereas many of these parents live in, deliver in, have a child die in, bury, or have cremation services in our community. And whereas Maggie's Light LLC was founded to support parents impacted by ectopic pregnancy, molar pregnancy, miscarriage, stillbirth, neonatal deaths, sudden infant death syndrome, sudden unexplained death of a child, birth defects, illness, accidents, or all other types of early childhood death. And whereas bereaved parents around the world remember their children annually on October the 15th with a candle lighting at 7 p.m. Some will remember their children in their homes, while others will remember them in small gatherings around the state, across the country, all over the nation, and around the entire world. And whereas this remembrance and awareness unifies these parents and the community in tribute to their children. And whereas, in memory of thousands of children who die each year in Kentucky, Maggie's Light LLC requests that October 15th, 2020 be recognized as Pregnancy and Infant Loss Remembrance Day. Now, therefore, I, Mayor Tom Prather, by virtue of the authority vested in me and the City Council of Georgetown, Kentucky, do hereby proclaim October 2020 as Pregnancy and Infant Loss Awareness Month in Georgetown, Kentucky. And I invite all the citizens in the community to support those who have been affected by pregnancy and infant loss.
Karen, thank you for bringing this to our attention for the proclamation. Would you like to make that motion?
I would like to make the motion, and it amazes me how many people are actually affected by this, and this organization does a fabulous job for our community and around the state. So thank you, Mayor, for doing the proclamation, but that's a motion.
I'll second, Mayor.
I'll second.
Motion's been made and seconded. If there are any questions, I know there's not going to be. All in favor of that resolution, say aye.
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 Are there any opposed? Thank you. That carries. Item 7 on your agenda. Yeah, that completes Mayor's comments. Item 7 on your agenda under City Attorney is a municipal order approving the purchase of property on Cynthiana Road. Andrew, I think, had us set up to screen share here so we could show you exactly where this parcel is. We've talked about this parcel for a number of years, the Marshall property that kind of juts out in a long triangle into our business park property. It's obvious the piece of property that we're talking about there. We've been working on acquiring that piece of property for years. The problem has not been a willingness to sell it. It's been that the title was very, very complicated and had some folks out of state and people that were hard to contact. And we really want to give a tip of the hat to Glenn Williams, who went above and beyond to produce a title to this property to where it could be purchased. The purchase price is set, and the good news is, for any council member concerned about our current budget situation, is this will not come out of our general fund dollars. We have a small pool of funds left from the money that Toyota originally provided to the city to make land purchases for Lanes Run Business Park. We've got a balance there of just a little over $300,000. So we will purchase this property with those funds, we'll fill this glaring hole in our business park, and we will not impact our general fund situation.
You need a motion, Mayor?
Yes, ma'am.
Motion.
Thank you.
Second.
And second, thank you, Tammy. Are there any questions about where this property is and the need for it?
Mayor, I have a couple of questions.
Sure.
What's the appraised value of the property? Did it appraise at 175,000 or was it less than that?
It's been so long since we've looked at it. Andrew, do you remember the appraised value, or Devin?
I don't believe we had it appraised.
Okay. So does that make it like, is this what we're going to turn around and sell for 25,000 an acre? Is that correct?
This property will be in phase 2 of our business park. So those lots are currently, we're selling that land right now at $35,000 an acre.
Okay. So you almost break even, costing us what, 36,000, 36 and a half an acre, somewhere close to that. Is the county sharing in that part, or are we taking it, if that's in phase, the other phase, is the county sharing any of the financial of that, or are we taking that all on?
Everything in phase 2 and beyond is shared with the county.
Okay, so this will be too then.
Yeah, and as well, we've got the, when we sell property in phase 1, we're paying off our debt, as we've indicated before. That still exists on phase 1. When we sell property in phase 2, those proceeds are going back into Lanes Run Business Park. So we're not taking those out as dividends for the city and the county, trying to make it as self-funding in the future as it can be.
Mary,
Okay.
can I mention something that might be helpful to everyone, probably? This piece of property, if we didn't acquire it, has a much greater negative impact than just simply looking at, the 4 point whatever acres that we have. Obviously it's not a perfect piece of property. It's kind of long and triangular. So it does have a very negative impact if we don't. I think that's part of what's been the desire to get this piece.
Yeah, thank you, David. It's clearly something that it would be very difficult to design around if we do not own that triangle that juts into our existing property. So let's see, we had a motion and a second, is that correct? Were there any more questions? If not, all in favor say aye.
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 Are there any opposed? Thank you. That carries. Item B on your agenda is second reading of the ordinance adopting our new code, the compilation of our new code. Sponsors Mr. Lesby and Ms. Tackett. Would you like to read the summary, Tracy?
Yes, sir. An ordinance adopting and enacting a new code for the city of Georgetown, Kentucky. Summary. 1. Adopts and enacts a new code for the city of Georgetown, Kentucky, which removes inconsistencies, renumbers the code, provides grammatical tense and gender corrections, provides a penalty for the violation of the code, and provides for the manner of amending said code. 2. Provides for repeal of certain ordinances, severability of provisions, and an effective date upon passage and publication. The full text of this ordinance is available for examination in the City Clerk's Office, 100 North Court Street, Georgetown, Kentucky, 40324, or at www.georgetownky.gov. Introduced and publicly read for the first time September the 28th, 2020. Publicly read the second time October 12th, 2020.
Thanks, Tracy.
Motion, Mayor.
Thank you.
Second, Mayor.
And thank you, Marvin. Motion's been made and seconded. Are there any questions about the ordinance as presented? And if there are not, Tracy, would you call the roll, please?
Mr. Thompson?
Yes.
Mrs. Tackett,
Yes.
Mr. Stone,
Yes.
Mr. Showalter,
Yes.
Mrs. Tingle Sames,
Yes.
Mrs. Lusby Mitchell,
Yes.
Mr. Lusby,
Yes.
Mrs. Singer Erdley,
Yes.
Thank you. That carries. That is a big housekeeping measure. It may seem like a minor thing to a lot of folks, but that's a really big housekeeping measure that'll be helpful going forward. Item C under City Attorney is first reading of the property tax ordinance. And as we approach this, I asked Andrew to be able to screen share just to remind me and remind the council of where we are relative to our current property tax rates. We can see where our property tax rates used to be back in 1979. There it is, thank you. At 19.9 cents per hundred. Today it is at 6.4 cents per $100 of evaluation. And the rest of the slide, or both these slides, come from our financial analysis that shows the average of our peer cities is almost 23 cents per $100 evaluation. And we are 6.4 cents per $100 of evaluation. Andrew, if you could move on.
I apologize if you can't see all the screen. It won't let me resize it, but.
No, we can see it all.
Okay, great. You ready to go to the next slide?
Yes, sir. The choice before the council is our current rate is there in the middle. It's 6.4 cents per $100 of valuation. You can see how much projected revenue that would give us, $2,078,000. If we take the compensating rate, which is intended to give us the same amount as we took in last year, our rate would actually drop to 6.3 cents per $100 of evaluation and would cost us $32,000. What I am proposing is that we take the legally available 4% increase in real dollars and make our rate for the coming year 6.5 cents per $100 of evaluation. That will generate the city $32,477 additional revenue next year. Given the fact that our current rate is so low compared to the state average and our peer average, it doesn't make much sense for us to be in as fragile a financial condition as we are and actually reduce that rate further. I think the responsible thing to do is take that very small increase and give us more of a sustainable ability to support first responders and others. So that will be, that is the recommendation of the administration and the finance committee, is that we set the tax rate at 6.5 cents per $100 of evaluation. When you can see the projected revenue that would generate. This also begins to get at, I think everyone shares a concern that we are too dependent upon payroll taxes, and we're going to stay heavily dependent on payroll tax. But this is a very small step in the right direction. Are there any questions or comments on this recommendation? this action requires a public hearing. Is that correct, Devin? And
right. It's scheduled for next council meeting.
So we thought we could get this out there, get it before the council for your consideration, then meet the legal requirement of having this public hearing at the next council meeting prior to asking you to vote. This timeline is fairly sensitive for us to be able to get the bills prepared and give Tracy an opportunity to get them out in time for people to take advantage of the early payment opportunity that we give them. So with that said, Tracy, would you like to go ahead with first reading?
Yes, sir. An ordinance providing for and making the real property, personal property, motor vehicle, and watercraft tax levy for city purposes for the fiscal year beginning July 1, 2020 and ending June 30th, 2021 inclusive. Whereas the City Council for the City of Georgetown, Kentucky is required by KRS 92.280 to enact by ordinance each year a tax levy on all real property, personal property, motor vehicles, and watercraft. Now therefore be it ordained by the City Council for the City of Georgetown, Kentucky as follows. Section 1, that the following tax levy is hereby made for city purposes for the City of Georgetown, Kentucky for the fiscal year beginning July 1, 2020 and ending June 30th, 2021 inclusive to wit. For the fiscal year beginning July 1, 2020 and ending June 30, 2021 inclusive, there is hereby made a tax levy of 6.5 cents on each $100 of assessed real property, 6.5 cents on each $100 of assessed personal property, and 16.8 cents on each $100 of assessed motor vehicles and watercraft, which tax proceeds shall be designated to the general fund for the general operation of city government. Section 2. All matters related to the payment of the taxes imposed on motor vehicles and watercraft hereunder shall be in accordance with KRS Chapter 134.800. Section 3. That upon all taxes for real property and personal property levied herewith, which are unpaid on January the 1st, 2021, there shall begin to accrue, attach, and be added from said date a flat penalty of 15% onto the total amount of said taxes then due and payable through January the 31st, 2021, after which the flat penalty shall be 20%. Additionally, tax bills not paid before March 1st, 2021 shall have added to them interest at the rate of 1% per month or fraction of a month until said taxes are paid. The penalty and interest as provided herein shall be added to said unpaid taxes and collected by the city finance director and or the city clerk. Should the real or personal property tax herein become delinquent, the city financial officer, the city clerk, and or the city attorney are authorized to file suit to collect all delinquent taxes plus court costs and expenses, including a reasonable attorney fee incurred by reason of delinquency. Section 4. If any section, subsection, sentence, clause, or phrase of this ordinance is held unconstitutional or otherwise invalid, such infirmity shall not affect the validity of the remaining portions of this ordinance. Section 5. All ordinances or parts of ordinances in conflict with this ordinance are hereby repealed. Section 6. The ordinance shall take effect after its passage and publication according to law. Publicly introduced and read for the first time, October the 12th, 2020.
Thank you. That'll constitute first reading, and we'll anticipate a public hearing and second reading at our second meeting in October. Item 8 under city engineer is a municipal order approving a change order for the Walmart right in, right out. It's a first for me while I've, in all my years of being a mayor and city council member. This is a change order in the negative. It actually is a change order to reduce the cost of the project.
Yay, hey, that's good.
Yeah.
We'll take it.
Eddie worked out, this is being paid for by private funds. The city and the county helped with a betterment fee or something, but private investment was paying for this project, but it had to run through the city. And Eddie worked with the state, and there was a reduction in the number of lane divider poles that were required. So it actually led to a reduction in the price. So I finally have brought you a change order that results in a decrease in the project cost. Who would like to make that motion?
I'll make it.
I'll second.
A second. Thank you. Okay. If there are
Mayor,
no questions, yes.
Before we vote on this, I'm all in favor of it. Make certain to remind me when we have comments. I've got a couple of things to say about what we need to do I need to do or get it done out there before we get that opened up. Okay.
Okay. Thank you. There are no questions. All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed?
Mayor, I will abstain from this vote.
Okay. That seems appropriate.
Yeah.
Arlene just texted me information about as fresh as I can get it, that we will have a ribbon cutting for the right in, right out on October the 29th at 10 a.m. Obviously, we don't get to do many road projects like this. And this is going to be a significant improvement to traffic. And we thought the council may like the opportunity to participate in a ribbon cutting. We'll have the chamber handle that for us, but wanted to get that on your calendar.
Mayor, what time was that? Sorry about that.
10 a.m.
What was the date?
The 29th. Good. Thank you, Arlene, if you're listening. Number 9 on the agenda under finance, we have a municipal order approving an assignment agreement with Enterprise. We haven't changed anything with our relationship with Enterprise, and all of our contracts and our financial relationships are staying the same. Enterprise has changed part of their corporate structure, or they changed a name. They changed the type of agreement that we're involved with them from a consignment agreement to an assignment agreement. It's a change that's probably important to Enterprise. It matters not to us as best we can tell. So this is something we've been asked to do and assured that it's okay to do so.
Motion, Mayor.
Thank you.
I'll second.
And second, thank you. If there are no questions about that municipal order, all in favor say aye.
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 Are there any opposed? Thank you. Chief Colson, it looks like you've got some surplus property for the council to approve tonight.
Yeah, we want to surplus a good portion of the radios since we've got the new radio system. We received a grant a while back to replace our rescue struts, trench struts. So we're getting rid of the old struts and what else was it?
Getting rid of a box of various attachments and straps.
Yep. So just some general cleaning of some things that we just need to get rid of. So.
Okay. How, will they have any value, Chief?
Yeah, the radios that we have are used by quite a few surrounding departments and some volunteer departments. So those should bring some money. And the Air Shores struts are pretty commonly used, and somebody might pay decent money, hopefully, for them.
Okay. Is there a motion for approval?
So moved.
Polly and Marvin made a motion, and Polly, they both made a motion simultaneously, Tracy. It was electronically a dead heat. So I'll let you put the minutes the way you wish to.
I'll go second, Mayor.
All right. All in favor say aye.
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 Are there any opposed? Thank you. That concludes everything that we had on this agenda, and time for council comments. Karen, could we start with you first?
Sure. I am all good for tonight, and thank you, Mayor, very much for doing the proclamation. Appreciate it.
Yes, ma'am. Todd?
No, sir. I'm good. Thank you all. Good to see you all for a change rather than staring at my picture.
And you got the best seat for the council meeting tonight, too.
It is rather nice out here.
Yeah, okay. Thank you. David?
No, sir. All good. Thank you.
Okay. Connie?
No, sir, I'm good. Thank you.
All right. Polly?
Yeah, I had a quick question. I've had some agenda questions from our constituents, and I noticed the agenda wasn't on the city's Facebook page. Can we post it next time?
Sure.
The council agenda? Okay, yeah, because I printed it up and took a picture and posted it on mine, but if we could just get it on there, it'd be great.
Yeah, I'm real surprised. It almost is. I'm surprised it wasn't on there.
Yeah. So, okay, thanks. Appreciate it.
All right. Mark?
Oh, I'm good. Thank you.
Thank you. Tammy?
All good. Thank you.
Thank you. Marvin?
Well, I guess I'm the only one who's got anything. Talking about the right in, right out at Walmart's, we got a stop sign that we either Walmart or I'll go out there and get it cleared out because you can't see it where they put it up. Coming in from Old Charlie's coming in towards the thing. It's
Hey, I brought that to Eddie's attention on Friday, Marvin. I experienced the same thing.
Well, supposedly Walmart was supposed to already come in and clean that out, but if they don't do it, I guess I'll get there. We'll clean it out one way or the other.
Eddie said we're gonna take care of it right away. So before right now, luckily there's no cross traffic. So, but we will definitely take care of that right away.
But if we don't get it opened up so they can see it, they won't realize that sign's there. So, but thank you for taking care of it for us, Andrew. Nothing else, Mayor. That was all I wanted to say.
All right. Thank you. Devin, Andrew, anything else to come before the council?
Sure.
Okay.
All I got.
Thank you all very much. We will be adjourned.